Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for April 14th to 21st, 2023. I hope you're all well. Let's get started. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me. Allowing each breath to pull you more deeply into your body, into your present moment. Releasing anything that is distracting you or pulling you off your center. Just being here now. And I invite you to see a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down, down deep into Mother Earth. Knowing that that tree root is not only grounding you, it is also a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, now and in the future, to do this reading for the week of April 14th to 21st, 2023. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide that in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and our collective well-being. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to be present and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible for the highest and greatest good of everyone concerned, and for our beautiful planet, all good stuff. May we cover all that is in our personal and collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in the window that we have together here today, so that we know how best to proceed, how best to align ourselves, how best to leverage our awareness and our gifts in service to ourselves and our development and our contribution to love and light. I'd like to call upon the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of wisdom, of healing, transformation, peace, empowerment. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming and for creating this magnificent container of light across time and space. Wherever we are part of this circle of light. Anything that doesn't match these intentions is welcome to go now. And let's begin. Okay. Creator, what is it that we most need to know this week for our best experience personally and collectively, so we can best navigate that which is around us, the changes that are upon us, the ups and downs and all arounds of this world, navigating the weirdness? What do we need to know for our good and the good of all those we love in this beautiful planet we call home? Okay. It's always a bit of anticipation when the cards get about to be turned over. Let's see what we have for this week. We're starting off with the Princess of Wands. Wands, if you've been watching for a while, you well know, have everything to do with our creativity, our inspiration, our passion, our ability to generate. It is the fire element, so that rising energy inside of us. And we have the Princess, which is new beginnings, pages in other decks, but this idea of fresh starts, new beginnings, new inspiration, fresh inspiration. Now, this is sitting in the recent past, which means it's something that we've known, we've recognized, we've integrated, we've absorbed from our past experience, and it's relevant to our present and our future. So this energy, this quality of fresh new beginnings on the level of creativity, inspiration, and passion is important in our present and our future. We're needing to leverage our creative abilities to envision something new, to generate something new, to dream the future that we want to see. We know how to do that. We've done it in different ways in our past experience, and now we need to pull that into our present moment, our now. The present card is a major arcana. We have the card of strength. Now, this is the card of, the theme of mastery from last week continues with this one, but it's not mastery as in domination. We have this woman who has an infinity symbol over her head, which is difficult to see because of my camera and the light, but you get the gist. She has this infinity over her head, symbol over her head, which represents her awakeness, her consciousness, that she is connected to the broader, wiser part of her and operating from that clearer, more conscious and intentional space. And this lion had a thorn in its paw, and she was able to take the thorn out, and as a result, the lion is very grateful to her, and they have a lovely connection. The symbolism of the strength card, the lion represents the animal aspect of our nature, the part of us that is fully embodied, fully part of this earth plane, and engaged in it, and has all those drives and energies that come with being an animal, from the sexual reproductive qualities to the hunger and elimination and rest and all of those things. I mean, we're humans and we're mammals. We're descended from a line of animals, if you want to call it that. But this card is all about allowing the broader, wiser part of us to help us navigate being human in a good way, so that we're not dominated by our animal selves, that we have a broader, wiser perspective, and we know how to care for ourselves as humans in three-dimensional form with our needs and our desires and our drives. But at the same time, we have a broader, wiser perspective that serves us and allows us to direct our focus and our energies and our animal nature in good ways for our good and the good of everyone with whom we connect. So this is up in our present environment. This is about being the master. Once again, that concept of mastery, being the master of our lives, being the master of ourselves, so that we are not run or dominated by the lower animal aspect of our beingness, that we're able to integrate that broader, wiser perspective into our experience. Okay, moving into the near future, we have the card of abundance, pentacles. This is such a lovely card. It's that flow of energy. So we have this lady and she's standing on roses, and the tree above her is blooming and producing star-shaped fruit. The pentacles represent the earth element, and that can be money and food and community and family and the earth, harvest, all those kinds of qualities, the earthiness, the things that make life beautiful and comfortable and worthwhile. So this is the energy of our near future, and what we're moving towards is an energy of abundance, of more than enough for ourselves and for everyone. And it's interesting, this energy of, this pulling in fresh beginnings, allowing ourselves, giving ourselves permission to have that fresh start, that new perspective, that new capacity to generate what we want. The strength card reminding us that we need to be coming from that broader, wiser part of us, being intentional and conscious and present, loving ourselves, caring for ourselves, taking care of our bodies, our hearts, our minds, our spirits. We need to take care of ourselves on all those levels. That's what this is talking about. Again, not the strength of domination over, but rather integration and understanding and support. And then with that, moving into this quality of abundance. What does that look like to you? Maybe just consider that as we, from this reading and as you go forward this week, consider, what does abundance look like and feel like in your experience? We have a lot of outside-in conditioning around what abundance or prosperity or success looks like, but what's true for you? What does your heart call you towards? What is abundant to you? A friend of mine once told me that abundance to her was having boxes of Kleenex in the house, because that was something she never had growing up, but it was a sign of prosperity to her and abundance to have Kleenexes. It's a simple little thing, but that's the kind of quality I'm wanting you to think about, It's not that outside in idea, as I said, of what the Hollywood idea perhaps of abundance and prosperity and success is, but more, what is it to you? What does it feel like to be abundant in your skin? What represents that to you? Okay, I know the Kleenex wasn't a very good example, but it's all I could think of in the moment. And the foundation card for this week. Why? Why are we having this reading? Because of balance. So as we're proceeding onward into the world, as we keep going, and as the world keeps doing its wacky thing, it is so wacky these days, staying balanced is really important. So what ways, what tools do we have to keep ourselves balanced, sane, content, grounded, enjoying life rather than freaking out, going into that fear space, which is really, it can be easily triggered if one is paying attention to the media these days. It just seems that that's the whole modus operandi, is to make us go into that fear place. So this week, we really need to pay attention to taking care of ourselves so we are in this balanced, even, grounded space. Because when we're there, we discern differently. We are grounded and peaceful, and we see things more clearly. We respond in a different way than if we're in a reactive, fearful, contracted. I was going to say condensed, but you get the idea. That sort of smaller than, denser than sort of state that fear gets us to. We need to rise above it. Once again, this energy of mastery over that reactionary emotion that might be coming up inside of us. That's part of our animal brain or our animal self. Emotions are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But if they are sidelining us or causing us to fall in the hole and wallow in misery for a while, that's not serving us right now. We need to be staying. What the cards are saying for this week is we need to stay in this clean and clear space. We need to stay balanced. We need to stay thoughtful and grounded. So that is our card, our spread for this week. So calling on this generative capacity that we have within us, dreaming up what we want to see in the world, what we want to experience, how we want it to go, leveraging that generative energy, rising to a position of mastery within ourselves. Self-care, never making ourselves wrong for who we are. Humanness is part of the bundle of being on earth at this time, but taking care of ourselves on all levels so that we can really thrive. And when we take care of ourselves in a good way, it's easier for us to access the broader, wiser part of us. It's easier for us to be masters. So this is what this card is talking about, the strength and the determination and the perseverance to be this master wise self and caring for all aspects of beingness. Near future, this energy of abundance, of what does abundance represent to us? What is enough to us? What does that look like? How is that represented? What does it feel like in your field, my field? What do we experience when we think of abundance? What do we dream of? What do we, as I said, experience in our bodies? Because the universe responds to our emotive state, the energy that we're sending out into the universe, the frequency that we're holding in our body. That's what the universe responds to, which is why the gratitude practice is so powerful, because when we can get to a state of gratitude and appreciation, the universe delights in sending us more to be grateful and appreciative of. So it's just an idea of that field, that quality of energy. And abundance has a particular quality and field of energy as well. But I'm curious to know what your inside out defining of that is versus the outside in defining of that. Because that's what we need to be mindful of and cognizant of as we go forward this week. What does abundance look like and feel like to us? Because we're going to be pulling it in. We're going to be pulling in this new world. So we need to consider, what do we want that to be like? How do we want that to feel? And then the foundation card, very clearly, balance. To the best of our ability, what do we need to do to stay in that grounded, centered, peaceful, balanced state? So we're not overdoing anything. We're not allowing ourselves to go too far in any direction. We're just staying home within ourselves, staying grounded within ourselves, staying present, awake and aware, clean and clear. And with that, let's move on to the card to grow on for this week. Thank you, cards. Creator. What is it that we need to be aware of this week for our highest and greatest good? As we move forward this week, what can we carry within our hearts? What symbols, ideas, concepts, thoughts, feelings can we hold within us to be of service to us in our greatest unfolding, our best service to life? Okay. Card to grow on this week is the card of disappointment. And so the thing that always jumps out to me about this card is how 3 of the hearts are broken, but 2 are still whole, meaning there's still room for love. There's still room for beauty and peace and all the good that we hold in our hearts, even though parts of the picture are broken. Parts of the picture are disappointed. So the story is that this gentleman here has made this young lady an offer, and though she likes him very much, she can't say yes, because to say yes would be to ignore what she knows in her heart to be true for her, her own truth. And so rather than compromise and sell herself out and, be disappointed with herself and what that happens over time, that creates all kinds of nasty emotions in a relationship if we're not in integrity and authentic and true to ourselves. She said no, and he is disappointed. And she's sad as well, but she knows that she has to stay true to herself. So this card this week, disappointment. So this idea of, regardless of how things may be looking, what you may be feeling, what you may be going through, remember the 2 whole hearts. By listening to your heart and moving in the direction of your yes, of what's most true and aligned and authentic for you, to the best of your ability, you'll always be moving towards more good for you. And if everyone does this, we will all be moving towards more good for ourselves. And we all benefit when we are happy and moving and thriving in the direction of what it is that calls us to more light and life. That's our yes. That's life calling us towards more life. So we need to be paying attention to that. So this week, our card to grow on is, where do you need to be authentic and true and congruent within yourself? What are those things that you might have to let go of so that you can move forward more truthfully and honestly and authentically and congruently for you? Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think this also speaks to the collective disappointment, that we're all experiencing. There's a lot of emotion right now, up, down, all around. Not good, not bad. It just is what it is. But it is intense. And our disappointment with how things are going, I think it's just recognizing that and knowing that that's what's true. But rather than getting stuck in that denser sort of state, asking ourselves, what does it show us? What would we prefer? What is the opposite of disappointment around this topic, or whatever it is that's evoking the disappointment in you, in me? What can we look at and change so that we can pull in something more beautiful and profound and helpful and uplifting, something that's more congruent that we can get behind and line up with in beautiful ways? It's an interesting card. So that's our card to grow on this week, the card of disappointment, navigating that in good ways and giving ourselves permission to listen to our heart, listen to our yes, and move ourselves forward in the direction that we need to go in for our good and the good of everyone whose life we touch. And with that, thank you for being here once again. I invite you to close your eyes and we'll wrap up the reading for this week. Take a nice deep breath. If you'd like, you put your hand on your heart so that you know where you are, coming back to your heart, breathing into that beautiful body, being here now. This is our point of power. This is our place of wisdom. This is where we need to be whenever we make choices and decisions. We can come home to ourselves in any moment just by taking a nice deep breath and coming home to ourselves. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, now and in the future. I want to thank you for the opportunity to do this reading once again for all of our highest and greatest good. I ask that you be with us as we navigate this week, as we learn to stay in our truth, as we practice being balanced and masterful about our attention and our energy and our focus, that we leverage our generative capacity to pull through things that are inspiring and enlivening and enjoyable for us, moving ever towards greater abundance for ourselves, for those around us, for all life on this planet. There is more than enough, and we are so good at generating that which is needed. Never to excess, but always in balance and harmony with the life force of this planet and all life on her. Creator, I want to thank you once again for this opportunity to be of service. I ask that you take care of all of us as we grow into more light and love, and help us to continue our journey. Give us the strength and the resilience and the courage we need, and the clear seeing, so we know what our truth is, so we know what it is that we are called to, so we know our yes, and that we have the wisdom and discernment and courage to turn towards our yes and pull more of it into our experience with gratitude and appreciation and joy. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for coming and being part of these readings. You're an important part of pulling through the messages, so thank you for your contribution. If you feel inspired, please feel welcome to share these readings. They are for everyone's highest and greatest good. That's the intention that I set, and hopefully you continue to get what you need from them. Much love and light. Have a wonderful week. Take good care.